Alright, so we've taken the intercooler pipe loose from here and down here. We've also taken the coolant tank loose. The water pump sits right here. Here's the thermostat housing. We have a few other things to take loose, it looks like, before we can get back in there to the water pump. I'm going to go ahead and take this cover loose. If you look real close, there's a couple vacuum connectors there to take loose. Of course, the upper and lower radiator hoses, we're going to pull them away. There's a hard line here. I'm not sure where it's running to yet. It looks like it runs up this way and towards the back, so I'm going to have to see if that needs to come loose. And we're going to keep on taking this apart, turn on the time lapse to follow along with the progress. Alright, we're down in there a little bit farther now. I'll grab this flashlight. There's a bracket here covered over top of the tensioner, attached to these lines, attached over here to the intercooler pipe on this side. You got both of the radiator hoses down, and right here is the water pump. You can actually see, let's see if I can zoom in here. See, there was some corrosion developing that was coming from a leak, and it's all down the front of the engine here. See it down there on the block even. So we've got all that off and laid over to the side. So next we're going to move on to figure out where that line goes to and what I have to take off to get it off and out of the way. These lines here are for the air conditioner. It does not look like they have to be removed to get the water pump out. With them not being there, it would definitely make it easier, but we don't want to have to let the Freon out and then vacuum the whole system back down and go ahead and recharge it again. So I am going to go ahead and take the belt tensioner off to give myself more room in there to work. So, and we're going to continue on. Well, update. We did have to take the upper section of the other intercooler pipe off because of that metal hard line. So, to release these, this one here, we had to push it in and then this section here sits down in that little channel. You push it in, push the pipe in, lift up on the clip until it's up and out, and then the pipe literally slides right off. Clamps on the other side, used a 7mm socket to loosen them. So we did pull the cover off on that side. There's a little plastic and foam cover sitting over there, so that metal line attaches right down there. Took the nut off here for the fuel lines, so that way we could get a little more access to the last bolt on the thermostat housing. So I'm going to take the fuel line loose down here at the bottom, pull this foam pad off the top there, and at least loosen the line there so we can get some room to wiggle on it. And then we will be down to the water pump. Alright, we got the water pump out. If you look way down in there, that tube that mounts, come on, focus, there we go. The tube, you see a little bit of coolant in there. Yes, there are several nuts. Looks like he's had a squirrel or chipmunk or something living around his truck. But that tube goes inside of a metal tube that's attached to the back side of the water pump, and it's bolted onto the back side of the water pump. Looks like two 8mm headed bolts. Come over to it. Right here's the back side of the water pump. This is for your lower radiator hose here, this one. The water pump sat in the truck like this. Flip it up, but you have one bolt here, one bolt over here, then you have 3 gaskets exposed on the back, and I'm going to assume, I haven't taken this off yet, but there's going to be a gasket here, and there's going to be a gasket on the tube on the engine side here. So make sure that it's not cracked or broken or anything. That's something you'll have to plan on replacing whenever you do a water pump replacement. test drove. Did good, no leaks for the coolant system anymore. And I was wrong. I thought this thing was supposed to be a twin turbo setup, but these 3 liters are a single turbo. At least that's all I can see on this one. So, but they still run real good, real quiet. So, and from what I know about them, they seem to be pretty reliable. So, if you needed to change your water pump, hope this little video helped you. Thank you.